11. Ye creating ones, ye higher men, one is only pregnant with one's own child. Do not let yourselves be imposed upon or put upon. Who then is your neighbour? Even if ye act for your neighbour, ye still do not create for him.
This is mainly about art. One should create according to their own vision, not subordinate their art to external values like the good of society or other such nonsense.
Unlearn, I pray you, this for, ye creating ones. Your very virtue wisheth you to have naught to do with for and on account of, and because. Against these false little words shall ye stop your ears. For one's neighbour is the virtue only of the petty people. There it is said, like, and hand washeth hand. They have neither the right nor the power for your self-seeking.
The demand to do things for the good of society, or for the good of others, is one of the values of the rabble. It is meant to stifle the free spirits. The creating ones should follow their own path, and ignore these demands.
In your self-seeking, ye creating ones, there is the foresight and foreseeing of the pregnant. What no one's eye hath yet seen, namely the fruit, this sheltereth and saveth and nourisheth your entire love. Where your entire love is, namely with your child, there is also your entire virtue. Your work, your will is your neighbour. Let no false values impose upon you.
Your creation is already in you, in a nascent state. It is asking to be given full form, and the process of externalizing it until it becomes complete is a form of spiritual pregnancy that involves much pain. This is not true only of art, but also of self-creation. You already have in you the higher version of you, the one that you have to become by self-surpassing. This is why he calls it self-seeking. You are digging into yourself in order to uncover that higher self, and allow it to take over. We have to be careful not to misunderstand what he is saying here. It is not that this higher self is already fully formed within you, just waiting to be discovered. It is just certain attributes that you have in you, which can serve as the building blocks for a higher self. By freeing these attributes, and by creating a worldview that allows them to form a harmonious whole, you create yourself anew, and you also gain higher spiritual powers in the process, which also become part of this new mix. Again, this should be done for the sake of yourself, not others. Whereas Christianity teaches love thy neighbor, you should think of that new and higher self that you are trying to create as the neighbor that you love.
12. Ye creating ones, ye higher men, whoever hath to give birth is sick, whoever hath given birth, however, is unclean. Ask women, one giveth birth, not because it giveth pleasure. The pain maketh hens and poets cackle.
Creating is a messy business. You are letting out things that were buried inside you, and some of those things are dangerous, or ugly, or unsavory, or all of the above.
Ye creating ones, in you there is much uncleanliness. That is because ye have had to be mothers. A new child. Oh, how much new filth hath also come into the world. Go apart. He who hath given birth shall wash his soul.
Therefore, he advises that after you brought a new creation into the world, you should stay away from it. You have let some of the dirty stuff out of your unconscious into your consciousness, and you should take time to allow it to fade away.
13. Be not virtuous beyond your powers, and seek nothing from yourselves opposed to probability. Walk in the footsteps in which your father's virtue hath already walked. How would ye rise high if your father's will should not rise with you?
In section 8, he told us not to will beyond our power. Here he picks up on this theme, and tells us not to be virtuous beyond our power. Posing an ideal for yourself that you cannot fulfill will only lead to bad outcomes. He also advises us to not ditch the virtues of our fathers, that is, the values that our parents' culture considers virtuous. These virtues are part of us. They shaped our character, even our nature. So completely turning your back on them would be turning your back on your nature, and thus losing part of your power. The implication is that you should create your values by reshaping the values that your culture instilled in you, not by erasing them.
He, however, who would be a firstling, let him take care, lest he also become a lastling. And where the vices of your fathers are, there should ye not set up as saints. He whose fathers were inclined for women, and for strong wine and flesh of wild boar swine, what would it be if he demanded chastity of himself? A folly would it be. Much verily doth it seem to me for such a one, if he should be the husband of one, or of two, or of three women.
If you decide to rebel against the values of your parents, don't make the mistake of overcorrecting by branding what they did too excessively as bad and making it taboo in your value system. If the culture you came from was too sexually promiscuous, don't react by making chastity a value. Find a reasonable limit to your sex life, a golden path between the two extremes.
And if he founded monasteries and inscribed over their portals the way to holiness, I should still say, what good is it? It is a new folly. He hath founded for himself a penance house and refuge house. Much good may it do, but I do not believe in it. In solitude there groweth what any one bringeth into it, also the brute in one's nature. Thus is solitude inadvisable unto many. Hath there ever been anything filthier on earth than the saints of the wilderness? Around them was not only the devil loose, but also the swine.
Those who turn abstinence into their virtue, becoming hermits, may believe that in that they purify themselves of sin. But the impulses they deny are part of our nature, and if you don't give them a healthy outlet, they will eat you from within and twist your character.
14. Shy, ashamed, awkward, like the tiger whose spring hath failed, thus, ye higher men, have I often seen you slink aside. A cast which ye made had failed. But what doth it matter, ye dice players? Ye had not learned to play and mock, as one must play and mock. Do we not ever sit at a great table of mocking and playing?
To deal with the humanity that they have come to despise, the higher men should learn playfulness and mockery. This will make them lighter and happier.
And if great things have been a failure with you, have ye yourselves therefore been a failure? And if ye yourselves have been a failure, hath man therefore been a failure? If man, however, hath been a failure, well then, never mind.
One should not be afraid to fail at achieving great things, but take it lightly. At most, the failures will make people conclude that man is a failure, unable to achieve greatness. And that's a good thing, because it will make them seek the answer beyond man.
15. The higher its type, always the seldomer doth a thing succeed. Ye higher men here, have ye not all been failures? Be of good cheer. What doth it matter? How much is still possible? Learn to laugh at yourselves as ye ought to laugh.
If they fail, it shows they are higher men, who aspire to more than easy success in mediocrity. They should not take it too seriously, and not take themselves too seriously.
What wonder even that ye have failed, and only half succeeded, ye half-shattered ones? Doth not man's future strive and struggle in you? Man's furthest, profoundest, star-highest issues, his prodigious powers, do not all these foam through one another in your vessel?
They fail because man, as a species, is not powerful enough to achieve greatness. But their failures attest to the striving that is in the heart of man, the striving for greatness. They help keep it alive, and thus prepare the ground for stronger humans. They should take pride in that, and not care so much about their failures.
What wonder that many a vessel shattereth? Learn to laugh at yourselves as ye ought to laugh. Ye higher men, oh, how much is still possible! And verily, how much hath already succeeded? How rich is this earth in small, good, perfect things, in well-constituted things. Set around you small, good, perfect things, ye higher men. Their golden maturity healeth the heart. The perfect teacheth one to hope.
Man may fail to achieve true greatness, but through trying, he has actually created many beautiful things that keep the hope alive that he will create even greater things. They should rejoice in that and understand that their failures helped create it.